morning. It is, what is it? It is 6:43 a.m. Today is, what is today? Today is the 4th of February. Today's Tuesday. Welcome to my trading journal. What you're looking at is the Jigsaw day trader platform. These are futures products from right to left. We have the Ultra bond all the way over here on the left. We have the 30-year bond here, second to the left. Here in the middle is the 5-year T-Note. This is the 10-year T-Note here, second to the right, and then all the way on the right is the E-mini S&P 500. Typically, when the equity markets are going up, these fixed income products are going down, and vice versa. This is all trading on order flow here. There's no charts, no indicators, nothing, no gimmicks, nothing fancy like that. It's just watching the orders come through and trying to scalp out a few ticks here and there. So let's see. Let's look at the calendar real quick. The economic calendar, you should always keep an eye on that. Not much. They had we had Red Book this morning, and then we have factory orders coming out here in about 15 minutes. So I'll be sitting on my hands until that happens. I don't really recall if that's a mover or not, but regardless, I just don't like to trade anywhere near openings and closings of markets and announcements. That's just how I like to do it. You can do what you want, but that's kind of how I roll. So the overnight action in the 10-year, just kind of pull this over right quick. Looks like basically a trend day thus far. Overnight just trended down, which is pretty indicative of the rally we're having in equities right now. I think the S&P was up, what is it, up 40-something points at the open. And it looks like it's going higher now, so having a good day today. Those equity folks. Areas of interest, obviously the overnight high, which I don't think we'll get back up there. Overnight low normally would be, but we've kind of violated that just a couple times through the open. The context looks a little bit of a frenetic market. Definitely some volatility coming through. So we'll keep an eye on that. But as of, like I said, as of right now, I'm sitting on my hands. So the overnight low isn't really an area of interest as far as continuation, simply because it's already kind of been violated, and we traded quite a bit of volume in here. And you can see we pushed through about 3 ticks through it previously, and now we're starting to push into the lows, which is what you'd expect when the S&P is pushing the highs. You'd expect these markets to start pushing their lows. It's just how it works. If that's not happening, then there's the correlation, or the negative correlation is broken, and you want to take heed. That's a warning sign to me. That feeds into your context that maybe things aren't ideal for trading. Let me see. That's about it for now, I think. Like I said, I'm just going to kind of hang out. All these markets are pushing their lows at this point. What we're looking at is, what we're looking for, excuse me, as we do start to push the lows, is some volume start to develop somewhere. To try to fade this market back up. We've only made a new low by 1 tick in the 30-year, or excuse me, in the 10-year over here, and the 30-year has yet to make new lows. So I'm not really sold on sellers necessarily crushing this thing down through the new low of the day just yet. Got some size over here on the 30-year. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, the fade trade's starting to become one of my favorites at this point. Yesterday I was here. Normally I don't trade on Mondays. And I was just sort of kind of watching the market out of the corner of my eye, doing other things. And I saw we had popped the lows by about 3 or 4 ticks in the 10-year, and we started just to develop a bunch of volume. And so I just kind of jumped into it, and that sucker just plowed up higher, probably about 10 ticks within 10 minutes. It's pretty awesome. Those are the ones that pay off, man. Those are they make up for all the 2 and 3 tick winners and the 2 and 3 tick losers. Obviously I didn't have, wasn't set up to kind of document that at all, unfortunately. It just sort of happened and I reacted. So we got about 2 ticks through the lows now. Haven't blasted through it yet. Still kind of dealing with some of the volatility at the open. And we got the 7 o'clock announcement coming out, so I'm going to go ahead and just sit on my hands until after that, so I probably won't be back for at least 20 minutes or so. Okay, we're back here briefly. It's 7:17 a.m. Pacific time. And kind of what happened during that whole injection of liquidity or volatility while that announcement happened was everything kind of pushed into the lows. The 10-year, we saw that pushing through about 3 ticks. The 30-year only pushed through about 1 tick and then got bought back up. So I'm looking for these markets to return to their lows again, which would represent a buying opportunity at this point, I think. And otherwise, I'm just sort of hanging out. So yeah, 7:18 a.m. Just kind of hoping these fall in. If they don't, then I guess you just sort of missed it. And it is what it is. So yeah. Okay. Ask and you shall receive. It is 7:26 a.m. We're back here and we are pushing the lows. So we just want to keep an eye on kind of how sellers react if buyers step up across all these products. I'm going to keep an eye on this number here. We're at about 13,000 now. Hopefully the buyers just sort of absorb all the selling here at this level and we just build a little shelf out and we'll just push this right back up. Continue to fill out this area and get back up to the point of control. That's ideal scenario. Second ideal scenario is sellers just come through and just blast this whole area and we don't have to worry about it. So we got the ES pushing the highs again. So far, no real reaction here in these products. As soon as I say that, they just blow right through the lows. Or into the lows, I should say. There we go. That's exactly what we were looking for. Just to blast right through it. Just be done with it. It's turning into a bit of a trend day. Just kind of glancing at the chart here, and kind of violated a little bit of the resistance areas by a couple ticks. That's not entirely unusual. We're definitely making new lows and not making new highs, which is basically the definition of a trend day. So let's sort of just reevaluate what's going on. It's 7:30 a.m. We have what looks like, looks to be a trend day happening. Which we can kind of expect to continue into probably the 8:30 hour for another hour or so into European close. And then that's when things just sort of settle into a range after that, and they slow down into the lunch hour. So if we do take any sort of a trade here, I think we should expect some resistance at that resistance level. So it'd just be a short-term scalp. Got a decent print working here in the 10-year and also in the 30-year at 04 in the 30-year and 27 even in the 10-year. I'd like to see that build up a little bit more. Oh, it's got some size coming through. Wow, look at that. We're going to get in on this, I think. Try to. It's 6,000 on the bid, and then all of a sudden just flash 4,000 up. So it's indicative of something happening there. Can only go with the clues that that they give us, right? The clues that are available to us. So put 6,000 on the bid here, and then shit, son of a bitch, might run away from me again. Little slow on the draw this morning. So yeah, I'm going to cancel that just because this area would be basically resistance. So you're looking at a 2-tick winner with probably a 3-tick 3-tick risk. Not a really good ratio. Just really wanted to see the 27 level build up a little bit more. I think that was the initial print that came down. A couple more tries would have been nice. kind of seems like this trend is exhausting itself. Each time it pops through the lows, it seems to be with lesser and less force and less range. I mean, during the overnight, it popped through 5 or 6 ticks, and then another 7 ticks on this one, and then right around the yeah, that's actually 5 ticks there. Yeah, that's huge. That was 6 ticks. Then the last pop was 2 ticks. We basically pushed through. I'm actually looking at the 30-year. So we came down. Yeah, we just violated that by 3 ticks, so it just seems like it's sort of getting less and less. Excuse me. Caught a little something, some virus or bacterial bullshit back in Chicago and brought it home with me, and man, it's been kicking my ass all last week. It's still just stuck on my chest. It's like walking pneumonia or some shit. But I'm trying to power through. It's just how it is. It is what it is. So something that's a little encouraging is the point of control on these products is still way up here. So if we do manage to get filled on something, if this drops back in, and we see some sort of buyer step up here, that we got a pretty decent amount of travel to get back up there. So we have to keep in mind that these are mean regression products. They're oscillating around a center point of control most of the time. They normally don't take off. Of course, if you bought up here, then you'd be kind of fucked. But yeah, I don't expect it to get all the way back up to the highs, but getting back to the point of control is not necessarily unheard of. It's not a big ask. We are back at the lows here. Level this out, clean it up, so we can kind of see what's going on. ES is pretty unrelenting. It's getting pretty thin up here, though. You expect that to fall back in at some point. Getting close to the 3,300 level. It's just a nice psychological barrier for people. Haven't seen anything yet. Basically, we want to see all these products start to lift at one time. And we want to see these numbers, this volume start to print, start to build out. Excuse me. Still selling down here at the lows. We still haven't really seen any sort of forceful selling down here, though. It's kind of lingering. I'm going to go ahead and just take a shot here at 27, hoping this is kind of a double bottom. And I might have waited a little bit too long on this one as well. Shit, man. Okay, we got filled. Let's see how this pans out here. Like I said, the ES has to drop in at some point. Personally, I don't think I would short it at this level, but just have a lot of very thin profile. So you'd expect it to get down back into like 93 at least. We just lost our bid here at 26.5. And the offer went kind of beefed up. Not a fan of that. But try not to micromanage this thing too much. Just recognize when you're in trouble and you need to bail. Might be in trouble here. Looks like our trend day might be continuing. I thought we were in trouble there for a second, but it looks like buyers are really stepping up now. That's good. Let's see if we can put an end to this trend bullshit and get back up to the point of control. ES is dropping in. That's good. Good sign. See if we can get some reaction here. If the trend day is to continue, I think that 28.5 or 29, that area would be resistance. So again, this is where, you know, if the trend day is continuing, this is where we would look to sellers just to jump back in and push this thing back down. I can't believe I can't get filled at 4 something in the queue. 400. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that if sellers just get super aggressive right here, I'll try to pull a tick out of this trade. Tick or two. And just try to cover it. Just the fact that we can't get, you know, more than 700 orders, 700 buyers above 28. Okay, at least we got one in. Let's see if we can go bid at 28.5. Awesome. Already had 1,200 pull off that before anybody went up into it. That's good. ES is falling back in. Getting down back to the point of control. That's what we want to see. See if we can go bid at 29. We went bid briefly there. Let's go ahead and push this up. See 28.5, 29, that's where you'd expect the pushback. So we just gotta keep an eye on what's happening here. Hopefully this push down is enough to get us up into 30. See, already seeing some pushback. Gotta keep that thing bid here. Get some size going. Let's get some size on 29, people. There we go, it's decent. Come on, let's go bid 29.5. There we go. Gotta keep it, man. I don't mind. I'm moving that down, just because like I said, this is where you'd see sellers step up. Already see this. We're already getting some pushback. Oh shit. Huh. Well, I meant that to be just a scale out, and I accidentally had my setting on 3, which I did that when I changed the my stop loss quantity. MFer. I just fucking fucked myself out of that trade. Okay, well, I guess for my sake, I hope this continues to be a trend day. But that's all we have for now. I guess I'll pause it, and we're looking at 8 o'clock on the dot, and have European close and everything. We'll see what happens. My suspicion and my hunch, based on nothing more than just sitting here, is that this is going to get back up into the point of control, and I just screwed myself. But we'll see what happens. Okay, it's almost 10 till 9 a.m. Pacific time, and we're still sort of just lingering in this little 4-tick range. As expected, it's lunchtime, so things are kind of drying up. So I think I'm kind of done.